How many games will the Arizona Cardinals win in 2025? Welcome, Cards fans. It's Mitch here with your official record prediction and schedule preview for the 2025 Arizona Cardinals. Before I get started, spike the like button. It helps more Cardinals fans find this video. And let me know in the comments your record prediction for the Cardinals. This is a game-by-game, pick-by-pick record prediction for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's get started with week number 1. The Cardinals get a nice little tasty week 1 appetizer. That's right, because it should be that simple. A little bit of an appetizer of what the Cardinals are going to be this year. It's a victory over the Saints in New Orleans. In fact, you look at the first few weeks of their schedule, and it's not so bad. I think the Cardinals can definitely start the season hot. Now, the question with the Cards has always been, can they finish their season strong? Because I thought last year they did the same thing, right? They've done this with Kyler Murray consistently, where they start the season well, Kyler's playing like an MVP, and then they fall off and they miss the playoffs, or they barely squeak in. So for me, this year, even though the schedule is not too difficult, it does get loaded near the back half of the schedule, which is concerning. And this division is one of the toughest top to bottom in football. Now, that being said, with the Saints, this should be a win. This is a rookie head coach in Kellen Moore. This is a rookie quarterback in Tyler Shuck, unless they somehow trade for Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers for some reason plays for the Saints. I don't see that happening. It should be Tyler Shuck. And the Cardinals will have an ease into debuting their new defense, their new front, their new defensive line, getting pressure after a new offensive line that just drafted their left tackle in Kelvin Banks out of Texas, right? The Saints have an older defense that I kind of think is rather slow. I think Kyler Murray can take advantage of that. Their secondary is not very good. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride can start this season strong. As long as the Cards don't do anything foolish in this game, they should be able to win. There's no question about it. Week number 2, this is a tricky game because I think a lot of Cards fans would look at this as a win. This is in Arizona. It's their home opener. I'm actually probably going to this game, actually. But the Carolina Panthers did beat the Arizona Cardinals last year in overtime. And I'm going to pick Carolina. I think this is an upset. I think the way they match up is fascinating. Carolina does not have a strong defense, but they have improved their defense, and they'll have their best defender back for this game that they did not have in last year's game, Derek Brown. That will help them against James Conner. That will help them to disrupt the interior of the pocket for Kyler Murray. They've gotten more athletic and deeper on the defensive front, and I do believe that their offensive line can block the Cardinals' new defensive front and give Bryce Young some time to pick apart maybe a little bit of an insecure secondary of the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals secondary is going to have a lot to prove, especially at corner this year with Will Johnson and all those pieces coming together. I think this game will probably be pretty close, one score, down to the wire, could go either way, but I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina stole it just like last year. So that's why I'm going to pick the Panthers in an upset. Week 3, I'm going to take the 49ers in San Francisco. I don't think Arizona will beat them again in San Francisco. I think a lot of last year's game was kind of fluky, to be honest, but then also at the same time, the Niners just had a nightmare season where they honestly just couldn't keep anybody healthy, and that was a common story for them all last year. I think the Niners will be much better this year, defensively speaking, from a coaching perspective under Robert Saleh. Offensively speaking, mostly just because they'll be healthier, in my opinion, and difference makers like McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk actually being on the field together. That's a big game changer, Trent Williams included. So I think the Niners are still the better team, better roster, better coaching staff. The Cardinals can win this game. They've proven they can do it. The way they can do it is by running the ball effectively and keeping possession. If you can keep Purdy and the Niners offense off balance and having to pass rather than be in their balanced set, I feel like you can get them. But at the same time, if the Niners jump ahead, that's where the Cardinals can get in trouble. So I think the Niners should win this game. Week 4, Seattle at Arizona, Thursday night, short week. They should take advantage and bounce back here to get to a 2-2 record. So a pretty balanced start here, 2-2. Feels about right to me because I think the game they're most likely to lose is the 49ers, but they could lose to Seattle and they could lose to Carolina. I don't see them losing to the Saints. Now, when it comes to Seattle, it's a short week. It's a new quarterback on a short week with a new team and a bad offensive line. That's always a good thing to face at home. And then also your defensive line could have their big, coming out party in this game. Home, prime time, loud atmosphere. That could be where Josh Sweat goes off or something like that. So watch out for that. Also, I just think the Cardinals are more balanced offensively, which will allow them to possess the ball and kind of set their tone. Because I don't think the Seahawks, with their offensive line, will be able to run the ball a lot this year. And that's going to put Sam Darnold in a lot of bad positions. And I think Kyler, with his ability to run, and James Conner, we've seen they've been one of the better running teams in football. Then week 5, the Titans at the Cardinals. I think you get to 3-2. The Titans are outmatched in this game. I like Cam Ward. I just don't think their roster is ready, and I'm not a huge fan of Callahan. I just think the Cardinals are better all around. They have more talent on offense. They're a better, more explosive offense. They're more balanced offensively. Defensively, I guess it's kind of close because the Titans were good defensively last year, but I think the Cardinals should be better this year. I just don't see the Titans' pass rush being very effective against Kyler Murray, and it's at home. Week 6, I'm going to take Kyler and the Cards to travel to Indy and win in the Dome. I like Kyler when he travels into a dome atmosphere. It's good for his style of play. And like I said, this guy seems to thrive early in the year. He should be really on a tear now against Tennessee and Indianapolis. I look at Indy as a team that I just don't think they'll be able to pass the ball that effectively against anybody. And when that's the case, and the Cardinals have kind of built up their defense to be better against the run with Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson, right? So I don't think that Jonathan Taylor is running wild even in Indianapolis. So I'm going to take the better passing team to win this game in the Dome. Week 7, I'll take the Packers over the Cardinals, although this one could go either way. This was the one where I sat there and I was like, I'm not sure. Because I have the Packers at 10-7, but honestly, I don't feel that strongly about the Packers. I feel like they're more of a 9-8 for me this year. So I might actually adjust this game when it's all said and done, to be honest with you guys, before the season. But for me, I'm leaning Packers just because I think they are the better team. I like their offense. I like Matt LaFleur. I like the way that they're balanced offensively, the way they can hit explosives. And then defensively, they're conservative. They play a lot of zone, but they have a lot of talent. The matter is that they don't have a great pass rush, but they're athletic. So it's kind of a weird mix for the Packers and the Cardinals, both inconsistent teams. So I could see either one winning here. It's just that the Packers, to me, have better, more sound coaching. So I lean towards Matt LaFleur. But that's just me. Then you have the bye week. The Dallas Cowboys game is going to be fascinating. I think for the Cardinals to make the playoffs, they probably need to win one of these two games. They probably need to beat the Packers or the Cowboys. Now, they have done well against the Cowboys, but when you really look at it, I do think that the Cowboys are capable of attacking the deficiencies of Dallas, and Dallas is capable of attacking the deficiencies of, what did I just say? The Cardinals are capable of attacking the deficiencies of Dallas, and the Dallas Cowboys are capable of attacking the deficiencies of the Arizona Cardinals. There you go, English. But I feel like Dallas is going to win. They're at home. They're on a primetime game at home. They have a ridiculously athletic and good pass rush. That is the strength, and they're able to cover in the back end. And they are playmakers in the back end. And then offensively, I think they're able to throw the ball. I think Dak, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, where you can take advantage of Dallas is by being a physical team. But I'm kind of worried that maybe the Cardinals, while they can run the ball, it's more of a pulling lineman, finesse style of running game. I wonder if the Cardinals translate in that way, because Dallas's speed might actually give them problems. Because it's not a straight-ahead power running attack. But if the Cardinals are able to run the ball and mix in that Kyler Murray magic that he has in Texas and that we've seen against Dallas before, then the Cardinals can win. So to me, this is another game where Packers and Cowboys could go either way. Okay, all three of these teams I have in that 10-7 through 8-9 kind of range. So these are big deciding factors at who makes the playoffs or not. Week 10, Seattle in Seattle. I'll lean Seattle. They have a very good defense. And when they play at home, that crowd, that atmosphere definitely becomes a lot more difficult for an offense. Kyler struggled against Seattle last year from an offensive perspective to be able to move the ball. So I think Seattle defensively probably steals a game for Sam and the Seahawks. Week 11, I'll take the Cardinals to even up the series against the Niners. Because, like I said, I think there is a game here where the Niners could be injured. The Niners could be taken advantage of by the Cardinals, rather in the run game offensively or in the defensive front. Maybe Purdy has a bad game where he's pressured and it causes some, bad turnovers. So I think the Cardinals in their dome, in their atmosphere, where the Niners are on the road, I think that's where the Cardinals can catch them. So I'm going to go with Arizona at home. Week 12, I think Arizona beats the Jags. I think they have about equal offenses with equal explosiveness and equal talented but inconsistent quarterbacks. At the same time, unproven coaches sort of on both sides. I mean, Cohen is a really promising offensive coach, and Gannon has proven to be a pretty interesting defensive coach, but at the same time, neither one of them is elite. I would also look at the Cardinals just having the better defense. I think they have the better defense on paper. Jacksonville's defense last year was pretty pathetic, and honestly, they didn't really improve it too much. So I'm going to go with Arizona at home. Jacksonville also has to make that travel. Week 13, Arizona at Tampa. I'm going to go Tampa here because I just think I think they'll know, like Todd Bowles will know how to just shut down Arizona's run game. Typically, Tampa's very good against the run, and I think he'll send a ton of different creative, exotic blitzes after Kyler that catch him. And then at the same time, Baker, Evans, Godwin, this is one of the best offenses in football. I don't care who you have on defense, they're going to be able to score. So I think the Bucs in Tampa, especially for a Western team, that's difficult. Then week 14, the Rams in Arizona. I'll take the Rams in the first game on the road. The Rams typically beat the Cardinals. I think last year the Cardinals did beat the Rams, but typically that has been the case where the Rams have dominated, usually through running the ball. But I think Stafford with Adams and Nakua is going to be a problem for this matchup. And then at the same time, the Rams have a young, ferocious, and athletic pass rush that can give any team problems on offense. Week 15, the Texans in Houston. I'll take the Texans. They have arguably the best defense in football. They're fast, they're physical, they can cover, and they can rush the quarterback like nobody's business. On the other side of the ball, this will be a determining factor. This will be a litmus test of like, how good is the Cardinals pass rush? Because if they can dominate, they have a chance to win. But the Texans, their only real weakness on their team is their offensive line. Otherwise, they're like one of, if not the most talented roster if you eliminate the offensive line from the discussion, right? At this point, they might be humming and they might be finding the formula offensively, especially in Houston. This is just a dangerous team when they play at their best. Week 16, the Falcons at the Cardinals. I'll take the Cardinals. I just believe in Kyler over Penix here, and I do think that you can take advantage of the Falcons' defense. It's not a great pass rush, and honestly, like, if you stop the run of Bijan Robinson, you've got a good chance to win. I'll take Cincinnati in Cincinnati later in the year against a West Coast Dome team that is going to be playing in colder weather in Cincinnati against Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the boys. I just think that the Bengals are suited to win that game. Week 18, you play the Rams in LA. I don't think the Rams will need to win this game, so I think they'll have a lot of backups playing. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals here. To win this game, I think will be more important for the Cardinals. They'll be very close to the playoff discussion, flirting with it. So I don't actually have the Cardinals truly dropping off at the end of the year. They do lose 3 of their last 5, but honestly, like, it's not atrocious. This is actually a more difficult schedule than you would think. I mean, they play the AFC South and NFC South champions. They play a really difficult schedule in their division. They play a sneaky Bengals, right? That's like a tough schedule spot where the Cardinals, they were 3rd place in their division. So instead of playing the Browns, they play the Bengals. And they play them in Cincinnati. That kind of sucks, in my opinion, right? They play the Packers, which is also pretty difficult. But honestly, like the Cardinals, I wouldn't be surprised if they went 10-7, 11-6, 9-8, 7-10, somewhere in that range. There are some games here that could be difference makers, though. The Panthers game early in the year, the Packers game, or the Cowboys game. I don't see them winning both. And then can they sweep Seattle or could they sweep San Francisco? I think more likely Seattle would be the team. But for me, I don't see how they have any less than like 7 losses, honestly, because they play the Rams twice, the Niners twice, the Texans, the Bengals in Cincinnati, Tampa in Tampa, Dallas in Dallas, Seattle in Seattle. These are difficult games to win. So the main thing is I like the Cardinals this year. I think they're a better team than last year, but I don't know if that necessarily translates to their record. It might by a game or two. We'll see. But it's going to come down to, can Kyler mature and be better than he has been, or will he remain inconsistent? Have their weaponry developed and matured? And then defensively, did they truly find the formula for success? Okay. And can Jonathan Gannon prove that he's actually a good coach? Because we don't really know yet, to be honest. So that's my record. Honestly, I wanted to give them more wins, but for now I have them at 8-9. You guys let me know in the comments what you believe, what you think. Thanks for watching. Gronk, spike the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next record prediction video. Peace.